high quality runners here.
And they are off. Welcome to these two planes.
Now, the main goal of planes is to try and get as much gold as you can get without losing time, as you'll need it for buying your upgrades in the next upcoming stages. A lot of this is done by digging up those dirt piles and then immediately jumping after. This is affectionately known as a shovel cancel.
Yeah, so Primorix getting the leap of faith, no problem. Tohloo as well. So there are very few hard tricks in this stage. It's just as Q said, getting as much gold as you can, and while continuing moving forward. But there's still a very specific trick that we're gonna see later, which is the bubble wrap. So for reference, let's see, I'm gonna check actually the PB of the runners real fast. At least the actual PB. Primorix has a 44.25, which is 3rd place, and Tohloo has a 45.56, which is 7th place. So it is like around 1 minute and 30 seconds apart, but as we know, in Shovel Knight, it's not a lot.
I mean, 1 or 2 costly deaths can completely determine a run.
Primorix going for the optimal bubble skip there. Tohloo opting to not go for it. And Primorix gets the bubble wrap. Nice, very nice. I also got the 200 gold, right? Didn't pay attention actually.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Now, what we're watching here is the optimal Black Knight. Quick kill. Ooh, so close.
Yeah, he got hit at the very end. Should not matter too much. Well, to get to Tohloo.
Now, this is the same thing I ask every time. If I remember right, Primorix is an orb runner, route runner.
Yep.
Tohloo.
Should be 2.
Okay. If I remember right, it's Taiwan, who's a rod route, and
Engage, yeah.
Engage, that's it. Yeah. Which, the meaning behind those is, the blasting rod is typically the first item that you can pick up in the game, because most runners go to Primal Keep first. And this is the home of the blasting rod in this stage's Chester, which can be bought for 1,000 from that Chester in the state, or 2,000 in the village after completing Primorix Keep.
Exactly.
Your other option, in most major routings, is the Chaos Orb. A lot of runners tend to use Chaos Orb, and this can be bought in the village for 2,500. As you can tell, there is a large difference in the amount of gold you'll need for that, and they have vastly different strats. That's mainly because how well Chaos Orb runs itself to killing bosses, and the fact that you can bounce off of the blasting rod projectiles.
So Primorix Keep is a very straightforward stage, as plain actually. Your main goal is getting gold, going as fast as you can. They both went for Gentle Hop earlier, but they didn't get it, neither of them I think. And the only hard thing left is pretty much a fight actually.
You can gain or lose a lot of time on King depending how good your inputs are.
Yeah.
Ooh, unfortunately, it looks like Tohloo took a death there. Into the rats.
It's still pretty close to a checkpoint, so it's not a bad death, but it's a surprising one.
It's not typically one that you're going to take on purpose because of the apple there, so...
Yeah. As we saw earlier, Notsunubi going for a death in Polonized state should get health back, because it's a... He needed... Well, I guess he didn't know how to handle the next room, which actually needs a damage boost. So that's why he went for that, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And the fact of the matter is the stranded ship has a pretty spread apart food points, so unless you're very familiar with taking a lot of damage on that stage, it's not something that everyone remembers where those food points are.
Exactly. So Primorix went for the optimal kill there. He missed the second set of shovel cancels, but he still got a really good fight and did back up the fight pretty well. So good job from him. Let's see how Tohloo does.
Now, the big thing is that they're using the ceiling to promote more pogos going into King Knight. And that's what really speeds it up, because you can get, multiple hits in when King Knight is that close to the ceiling.
Yeah, Tohloo having some trouble with King Knight. And Primorix is about to Chaos Orb. And Tohloo's gonna get it as well. So yeah, I saw Wizbeard speaking about the Neither run. It's actually a run when you don't buy either the Flare one or the Chaos Sphere. Which is supposed to be the fastest spherical route, but ends up not being the fastest route because of the RNG of bosses.
Yeah, that was the hot topic in this last month, is how to do an effective orb versus rod versus both versus none.
Yeah, that was a hot topic for a pretty long time, but yeah. But we still don't really know what's faster between Chaos Sphere and, I'm gonna say, Flare 1, because we don't have as much Flare 1 runners that we have for Chaos Sphere. So it's kind of, unfair comparison to make between the Chaos Sphere and the Flare 1. So now we are in Lich Yard, there we go. Which is a fairly harder stage compared to Primal Keep.
There's an interesting point that Wes has actually brought up, we forgot to mention. Tohloo is actually our community's best Plague Knight runner.
Oh, by far, yeah.
Let's just say he packs a mighty fine potion.
But yeah, he's a great Plague Knight runner, as we're working in it, so... And he decided to pick Shovel Knight for the tournament, so... Well, he actually ran it before, but not very much seriously. And then the tournament got announced, and then he started seriously to run it.
Now, the thing that we didn't discuss about the Lich Yard first was kind of some of the unique enemies in here. The first one that we run into, which makes an appearance later on, are the frogs. Frogs are a notorious RNG for this run. They will hop as far as they want to, and you can't always account what they're going to do. They're one of the enemies that are not really manipulated by the player.
Yeah, it's a really a reaction game. You have to see what they're going to do and react to it as fast as you can. So Primorix starting the Spectre Knight fight. Let's see how he goes.
Now, Spectre Knight is another form of this boss RNG. That first teleport combination is always going to be into the caddy corner, so the two diagonal corner. Looks like he got great RNG for the Spectre Knight fight, because after that point, when he throws his sight, he can do one of four things. He can stay put, he can teleport to the the corner directly below where you do the scythe to the corner horizontally or the corner diagonally. Ideally, you don't really want to see the one horizontally, because it's very difficult to get a lot of hits in during that time.
In this case, he will always go either bottom left or bottom right. And Tohloo got better injection in this case. Which is pretty unfortunate, but well. Well, Primorix got good RNG, so yeah. If you optimally kill Spectre in both good and bad RNG, the difference is between 3 and 4 seconds, something like that. So it's normally not a huge deal, but it's still a problem. Primorix is getting some extra gold from the Dream 1. Seems Tohloo is gonna do the same. I didn't kill the second skeleton though, so it's gonna be a bit short on gold.
Hey, you can get 300 gold from killing 2 skeletons, as opposed to 150 from 1. Since any enemy you kill in the dream gives you double the gold that they normally would. This is really important for a lot of new runners when they're taking a lot of additional safeties, because it's a great way for you to kind of catch up on a lot of gold. Yes, you do lose some time for it, but let's just say you've got a lot of deaths and whatnot, you can still do a pretty efficient routing by taking a lot more dream gold.
Ooh, Primorix going to the Billow skip actually.
Yes, due to Munch Goomba finding that, of course.
Yeah, blame Moonsha, thank you. So, the reason why he left the stage is because he cannot retrieve his bags, his gold bags. So the best way to get your money back is to actually leave the stage and come back into it. Because the way the game works is that if you leave a stage, it's gonna put you in the stage you were before entering it. So if you die to that, just leave.
It's just unfortunate because the way that the mechanic works is you drop 1/4 of your gold upon death. And that gold is basically in the full bags. And if you get really bad bag spawn, the problem is you can't really retrieve that gold. And these runners need pretty much every piece of gold that they get during their run to complete it with their routing.
Tohloo died too, but opted to not leave the stage. So that means he will have to find some money backup. But he's kind of forced to get now because he failed the build skip again, but he didn't die, so he can get those extra 300 that you can find in those grey blocks. So yeah, if you don't go for build skip, a good reminder that you can get quite a lot of money there.
As these runners will need 3,000 gold to buy the Dust Knuckles on the stage from Chester.
And they are planning ahead because they want to buy the Conjurer's Code and the Charge Slash as well.
For 8,000 from the Armory.
Yep. Primorix has a lot of gold, so he should be safe on that point. Probably got a lot of gold, so he doesn't have to break a specific checkpoint at the end of the stage. I'm guessing.
Anytime I see a runner go for a pogo on those slimes, I just have the most sinking feeling. Those slimes are another form of RNG on the way that they behave on their jumps. And I don't think I'm the only runner who's had the slime decide it wants to jump right out of the way of your pogo and hit that breakable block and go right to the lava.
Mm-hmm.
What we just saw there on Tohloo's screen is an example of the way that objects are produced in this world. Certain objects in this world just stop existing once they reach the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen. This typically works in your advantage when it's the top of the screen, disadvantage at the bottom of the screen, because anything that's below the bottom of the screen is typically just a straight death plane. The top of the screen glitch is used in 2 particular stages. Right there to skip over that column can be done by either using the Dust Knuckle, which is a little bit more consistent, Or you can shovel and then jump onto that little slime.
Primorix getting a really good Moonlight fight and also got build too, so pretty good stage from Primorix. My name's Death, obviously, but yeah.
Tohloo also got Beetle too.
That was very risky since he took the checkpoint, so very good for him too. Ooh. Billy got him before he goes into the ground. But he got him, so...
We had plenty of time to get him before he completely dug under.
So now, Primorix enters the stage where he cannot do any mistake, or it's gonna cost him a cycle pretty much every time.
What he's talking about is this stage introduces global cycles through the vats. The vat lids are decided from the moment that you enter the stage. So for any time that you spend in that stage, these vats are doing cycles. So what you need to do is actually complete to a certain section by X amount of time. Otherwise, you will miss a cycle on these vats.
Primorix will get the optimal cycle. There you go.
I can safely say that long vat room is a terrifying endeavor, especially to a lot of casual players. If you are slightly off cycle, that room can go from okay to just terribly awful in about a half second.
Yeah. So if you don't know the backup for the other cycles, you really want to do a perfect stage, no matter what.
As you can see, those cycles are very tight, as Tohloo almost went into the spikes.
The good thing to know, though, is that the spikes at the top insta-kill you, but the ones that are on the platform of the vats don't actually kill you. They deal 1 full damage, but they don't kill you. So we're getting, again, some extra gold from that checkpoint.
Fortunately, Primorix... Oh, he actually got the backup for Slime Climbers.
Yeah,
Cool.
He missed Ice Climbers, but he got a backup. So Primorix has way enough gold. You need 5,500 before entering the Plague Knight fight, and he's way above that, so no problem for him.
So talking about that room just slightly before, is that particular alchemist enemy has been the bane of so many of our runs. He always has a tendency to throw his potions just to knock me completely off the bat.
Ooh, very nice timing from Primorix there.
That's a very clean Plague fight.
Yeah, he got better RNG, but he timed his Chaos Sphere at the right moment, so Plague spawns them at the same time he throws his Chaos Sphere, spawned the vats at the same time he sends his Chaos Spheres. And that way, the Chaos Sphere are gonna bounce really fast between the vats and damaging Plague for a pretty large amount of damage. And Tohloo will have to break the checkpoint. Let's see how it's gonna go for Tohloo. It's getting some RNG actually. Not now. Getting worse RNG than Primorix.
These are actually pretty good potion reflex here.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get additional damage onto Plague, as he tends to be a little jumpy friend. The other thing that you'll note is if you try and poke him too long, he has a tendency to teleport to somewhere else on the map. Sometimes that's good, and most of the time it's bad.
They get a pretty awful RNG pattern there, but as I said, he's not using his usual controller either as well, so it makes the run kind of hard for him. So yeah.
So we got Primorix and Iron Rail while Tohloo is doing his Armory Outpost trip. And Primorix entering Orb Skip here. Gets it first try.
Nice.
What he's doing is actually bouncing the orb off the ceiling. This speeds up the orb very, very rapidly to kill all 3 or 4 of those tentacles if you get the perfect bounce, to greatly save a ton of time. Because those middle 2 tentacles go to a spot to the left that you can really only reach through that moving platform.
And here comes one of the reasons why we get Conjurer's Code and Char Slashes.
420 fish.
Yeah.
The reason he's called 420 fish is because he likes to stay high, and it will ruin your run.
Yeah. They did a really bad back and forth movement, so yeah, Primorix couldn't get dust as much dust knuckles as he wished like he would have get, but yeah. Optimally, you want 2 Char Slashes and 8 dust knuckles, but he was not able to do that because of the movement of the 420 fish.
Tohloo also getting the tentacle skip.
Very nice. Primorix not opting to go for the first Encore, which I can totally relate to in a race setting.
The reason these runners are getting Conjurer's Code is because it gives you 50 extra magic, but at the cost of taking an extra half damage from anything you get hit by. If the damage normally you take in is going to be half of a heart, you take a full heart damage. If it is a full heart, you take 1.5. This makes the run a lot more dangerous for taking hits because you don't have that much health. But the advantage is you have so much magic that when you get a later item called the Propeller Dagger, it speeds up the run greatly.
Yeah, and Tohloo got why we call him the 420 fish. He went so high, he couldn't get hits the way he wanted to. So there you go.
You will lose a cycle if he wants to just not let you have it.
Yeah. And yeah, Primorix just destroyed Treasure Knight.
It really was a beautiful fight. And this is also the reason why the Chaos Orb is so prized by a lot of the runners. If you get, certain bosses, that orb will just deal loads of damage for minimal amounts of magic. No!
And Treasure Knight, if you don't have Chaos Sphere, is a very dangerous boss. So that explains also why the Flare One route goes to the Explodatorium after leaving the outpost instead of going to the Iron Rail. Because the fight would be way too dangerous with the Flare One and the Conjurer's Code.
I wanted to point out that Primorix tried to go for the strat in Dream 2 where you end it early, but he failed to get killed by the bird in the air, so he had to fall to the ground.
Now, which one are we talking about? Are we talking about the new low percent one or the any percent one, eh?
The any percent one.
It's the same one. It's a joke.
What Primorix tried to do was catch Shield Knight in the air when he died, and for some reason that actually lets you stand up outside the dream and walk, so you basically end it instantly.
It's quite an amazing strat, actually. The other reason why Treasure Knight is so dangerous is because a lot of his attacks do a full heart of damage. So with that Conjurer's Code, you are really skirting danger.
So we're not deciding to not do The Dream 2 skip, early grab. I don't think he knows it, so...
Primorix with the pogo skip off the mini boss.
Very nice. And he's gonna get the propeller dagger.
This is actually a very key gold point to keep in mind when you're running the stage. You need 4,000 to actually get this propeller dagger, and it is one of the best speed techs in any game. Costs 4 magic to use, which is again one of the reasons they get the Conjurer's Coat. And you effectively save about a half a second every time you use it properly.
And here comes one of the most RNG room of the game, actually, I should say. Got it perfectly. Very nice.
Those enemies are known as Jawas. They suck.
That's true.
And that's because nothing can blow. Because it's all pressure difference. Thank you, science.
But yeah, we all have a specific setup to use to guarantee us a way through that room. But sometimes the Jawas decide, no, not today.
They can go high on you, they can start blowing early, they can get in the path of your pogo. Most often than not, if they decide to kill you, they're going to kill you.
Definitely.
These runners are exceptional runners. They're sub 50 minutes for any percent.
Yeah, and Primorix is actually sub 45 too, so...
There are very few people who are sub 50 in this game. It's quite a difficult game and difficult to reproduce with a lot of succession.
See how Primorix does against Propeller. Hit. Can still set up the quick kill technically. I missed it. Too bad.
Color Knight is one of those bosses that if you get the quick kill, it looks amazing and it's completely safe. But if you miss it slightly, it can turn into a nightmare.
Very nice backup from him though. But yeah, you can go from a very absurd fight, a very absurd looking fight, to a very absurd looking fight too, but not for the same reasons.
Most of the time, if he ever gets into that stage where he's charging around the platforms and he still has a lot of health, it's oh god, oh god, oh god, don't kill me.
Yeah. Because Propeller is as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Treasure Knight if you don't know the quick kill. Or if you don't get it at all.
I think another great thing about this particular speedrun is you can actually take a lot of safeties and still put up a pretty decent time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I run essentially what is a mean route for any percent compared to these runners who are actually good at the game. I don't get Conjurer's Coat, I get 8 to 9 health, and I just buy a bunch of magic. And my best time is a 108. I mean, these guys are the cream of the crop, and that's why they're making it so far in this tournament.
We're reminded that it's a third round in the winner bracket, so yeah, it's pretty fine the tournament already. Tohloo missing the fight too. Let's see how he backs this up. See how it goes. Ooh.
So Primorix just got the last piece of gear you'll need for this run, specifically the mobile gear. Costs 3,000, and it's primarily used in this stage and other stages to traverse fights. Also has one other hidden feature. It allows you to engineer one boss's demise.
So So Tohloo died to Propeller, so he has to go for the fight again. Taking it way more safely.
This is again why Prop Knight is so dangerous. When he's doing those charges back and forth, they do a full heart of damage. If you got the Conjurer's Coat, 1.5. He can quickly kill you if you get off cycle.
Yeah, so Prom is going through the auto-scorer. Got a pretty flawless stage.
Yeah, apparently you can do math because the Sign Daggers were behaving. I mean, Clockwork Tower is just an execution of why the Propeller Dagger makes this run look so nice.
Yeah.
There's so many good spots for you to use it.
Tohloo is pausing.
Is he running off of a wireless controller?
I don't know. That's kind of weird. And Primorix with the Tinker Knight quick kill there. Very nice.
Using the Dust Knuckles for additional damage, you can get a lot of hits in quickly. That back and forth is off those Dust Knuckles. You'll see a lot of these top runners do. That is not easy to execute. You'll also see you can use another use of the gear here to get a little bit of extra height. But another option is using that beetle to get a pogo up.
Primorix using an extra Dust Knuckle because that small block he destroyed, there is actually a 5 mana pot, so very clever usage of the Dust Knuckle there. Clever. Did I say cleavage?
As you saw there, the old gear trick lets you get that extra block of height and reach that ladder, completing that room much faster than you are intended to run it.
So, the Banana stage has no RNG in it. Or technically should not have any RNG. If you know how to manipulate the dragons.
Definitely tell that Tohloo is not comfortable with this particular controller.
You know.
With his relic swaps.
Usually what he does is that he binds his keyboard to... no, because with the keyboard you get shortcuts to items. And instead of using quick swaps, he rather rebind those keys to his controller to, you know, get very specific binding. So one button is the Propeller Dagger, one button is the Chaos Sphere, and so on and so on. The problem of that is that since he's using a different controller, he's not comfortable with those buttons, and he actually had to remove those mappings and use the classic swap buttons of the controller. And he died to the auto-scroller.
That is, you cannot sleep in these auto-scrollers in this game. You may think, oh, it's an auto-scroller, you know, Resident Sleeper, but these auto-scrollers will and can just ruin your run and kill you with some RNG from either the Sign Dagger or you're delayed on a little bit of an input.
Primorix against Hollow Knight. Getting a really good kill there, very nice. It's platforming wise, it's actually pretty tricky to go for that auto scroller, to be honest.
Yes, it's very input heavy, and if you decide to back out of a certain jump, you can actually psych yourself out. Sometimes it's more often than not, you're better off just going for something, even if you don't think you have the right timing for it. because those gear platforms that push you in direction affect your momentum. And the more you try and think about it, the less likely you are to make your next platform. I mean, even if you hate auto-scrollers, the auto-scrollers in this game are rewarding for good execution.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you can make them as safe as you want to. Looks like Tohloo's going with Pogo and gear strats for Tinker Knight.
Yeah.
Using the gear to do an additional full damage to the boss. Whereas your Pogos only do half damage.
Yep.
If you want to play it a little bit slow and consistent, you can actually use full Pogos for all of Tinker Knight.
I'm pretty sure usually he goes for the dozen knuckle strat, but yet again, not the same controller, not the same setup for swapping items, so decided to go for something a bit easier input-wise.
If there's anything this game is punishing is if you can't get the exact same inputs over and over and over again. So Primorix with the Crusher one cycle. By using the Propeller Dagger twice, you can actually skip a full cycle of the Crusher. This is not possible in low percent because of the fact that you don't have that Propeller Dagger.
But I'm mad at Primorix because he used 3 daggers, not 2. It's a wasted mana. That's not good Primorix. Bad Primorix.
If you got good enough reaction time, you can actually use that extra momentum.
But so far, a very good toe one. But the only chunk of RNG is coming up, so let's see.
So will the Jawa fight him? Now that I mentioned it, Commentator's Curse did not take effect.
Dude just died because he shoveled too late and couldn't break the 2 top blocks, instead break the 2 bottom blocks.
Oh goodness.
Ooh, Primorix getting hit by Black Knight. Getting the Stunlock back. See?
Black Knight 3 is a very unforgiving fight with that stun lock.
Yeah.
You lose that stun lock for even like a fifth of a second, he's going to completely say no to you.
You got to steal a pretty fast kill, considering that he missed a stunlock, the first possible stunlock, so...
Yeah, he looks like he got the low pattern middle, which is something ideally you want when Black Knot is flying around. Because that low pattern middle means you can get charge slashes in that meantime, and that's a lot of extra damage.
Yeah.
If he has a slightly different pattern, you will get a lot less damage. That being high in the middle and low on the 2 sides, because you'll only get half of the cycles. Black Knight, one of those fights that if it gets away from you, then I mean he'll do stuff like drop meteors, shoot a bunch of orbs around, just a lot of things that really waste a ton of time.
Not to mention that he's invincible when he's throwing those orbs, so you really don't want to see that happening.
Primorix using the Charge Slash. This is a lesser known thing. Charge Slash actually hits above you, below you, and slightly behind you. And it's really effective when used on these Bifrost statues. Because what you can do is take this really safe pattern for that slime enemy. That slime enemy is a bane for a lot of casual runners. Because you'll run up and try and shovel the Bifrost in, and then that slime enemy will drop down, damage you, and knock you off the Rainbow Bridge. So a good way of dealing with that is just use the Charge Slash in front of the statue, and that will propel you forward, and that slime enemy will not kill you.
And by being safer, it's also faster, so definitely worth going for it.
It's definitely one of those strategies that is both safer and faster, which has my seal of approval.
Oh my god, Less Gamer going for the anime threat to Tohloo.
Don't send it to Tohloo, Houseless. Send it to me. Although I prefer manga myself.
Yeah, Primorix coming up to the boss rush. Got a pretty good stage too, so far so good. Getting only foods in the plate. Ooh.
Okay, I gotta remember that for the future. It's Tohloo's gear strat there as a backup for Tower 1. And that rat room, that has been the bane of a lot of my run.
Yeah, it's not so much a backup as it is a consistency decision, rather. So you have multiple ways to do that room. You can wait for the rat to behave your way and pogo it, or you can decide to don't care about that rat, killing it, and use a gear. The rat strat is technically faster, but the rat can sometimes decide to not move far enough to the right, and so you can't pogo him after 2 movements. You have to wait for a 3rd movement, which is slower than using the gear, but using the gear is slower than 2 movements, so yeah, it's a consistency decision.
I guess we'll discuss the boss rush here since Primorix has entered it a little bit ago. The boss pattern is always random which one you'll get first. The only thing that's consistent in the boss ordering is that Polar Knight is going to be one of the first 3 bosses that you reach. And this is because Yacht Club Games has decided that Polar Knight involves an instant kill mechanic, and there'd be nothing more frustrating to have it as one of the last couple bosses you're fighting in boss rush, only to die to the spikes, and I'm thankful for that, because that fight can be a bit dangerous when you're starting to run low on magic. That being said, each boss that you kill drops a platter in the middle.
Yes.
The odd platters, aka after you kill like the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th bosses, will drop a turkey in them, which will fully restore your health. Even ones will drop a turkey and a large magic pickup, which gives you 30 magic back. It also causes whelps sometimes. I'm just kidding. That's just a WoW reference.
It's also worth noticing that if you don't open the plate, you skip the plate afterwards.
Essentially, it just takes the spot. So it's pretty important that you want to open every single plate so you can get as much magic back during this boss rush.
Yes. And Tohloo just died to Black Knight. In the meantime, Primorix finishing boss rush. And this time got this done not perfectly. So as you can see, a 360 controller can actually kill Black Knight free without any problem.
Nearer than any Black Knight kill I've ever gotten. But I guess that's just because I like anime.
Eh. So the room that Primorix is in will always be the same. Those blocks will always go towards you and in the same order, so you should not die there. But sometimes it happens because stress, you don't pay attention.
Game is
Things
not
like that.
lacking you to execute on the same way that it works every single time. You try and be fancy sometimes, and the game will say no and slap you in the face. Other times you discover a new skip, and then, like Muncha, make everybody dislike you for being one. Looks like he's going for the quick kill
Yes, he's
on Enchantress 1.
he got hit though, so he couldn't get the quick hit exactly. Bad death at the end. We'll go for that pogo at the end. Very nice.
Another option is to toss a Chaos Orb in the little opening there. Sometimes you can clip Enchantress 1 there.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the mana for the gear so he can jump earlier towards Shield Knight.
I'm just kidding, I like Muncha too. I just really hate being skin.
Thankfully, I didn't create strats that people hate. Well, maybe I did, I don't know. So, still getting some bad RNG there, but going for the Dust Knuckle strat didn't get the pogo off, so he has to wait a bit for her to stomp. That goes back to Dust Knuckle, and we'll finish with some pogos. There you go, very nice.
Finishes with just slightly below a sub 46, so impressive run. Now, the important point with Enchantress 2 is you want to get 8 hits, and the reason you need to get 8 hits, which is 4 total health points of Enchantress 2, is she won't start doing her dive and knock down the platform until she's taken that much damage. By doing that, you speed up the fight significantly, and it really lets you get a ton of damage in.
And, oh, that's what... What's Tohloo doing? He just died in the Ozo's corner.
Tohloo has forfeited.
Yeah, he's forfeited.
Which is alright, so he took Honorable Sudoku.
Yeah, but very nice run from Primorix, and pretty unfortunate that Tohloo had to deal with the Chinese conspiracy, but, you know.
It is what it is. This game is not one to letting you change such things as equipment on you. And that's like the case of going from a burger to having pasta. Completely different beasts, and they will affect how you get your inputs in.
Yes.
Which is why I recommend, if you're planning on running this game, find something you're comfortable with it and just stick with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I personally made the mistake to switch controllers like 3 or 4 times. And it's a really bad idea, so yeah. Pick one and stick with it, really. But now we know what's gonna be our first winner semi-final of the tournament, which will be Smoggy versus Primorix.
That's going to be a hype race.
That's gonna be something, yeah.
You have Mr. Shovelman himself, Smoggy, world record holder on 5 categories, against Primorix, the number 3 spot in any percent. That's going to be one you definitely don't want to miss.
Definitely not. On the other end, Tohloo going towards round 3 of Losers Bracket, and we'll wait to see the results of the match between Momo Akai and Westbeat Tooth.
Another great one. We're getting to these, sub-hour runners. These ones are going to be a battle of consistency and execution every single time.
Yeah, very close times.
We're joined right now by Primorix. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
And as we all know, we know that Primorix stole the part of Tohloo to win that match, obviously.
What? You don't see this right here? This chip? No, I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
Nah, me neither. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's okay.
Yeah, congrats on the win.
Thanks. It was pretty nervous the whole time. I haven't really done something like this before, so it turned out okay, fortunately.
But fortunately, you were 1.5 minutes behind your PB in a race setting. That is impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really solid run aside from Butyl 1. So I'm happy with that. I had a feeling I might miss it, honestly, but managed to recover okay.
Yeah, at that point it was still a very close race because you both died to Bill once, so
Oh,
yeah.
I think that more came down to bag RNG too.
what happened was I jumped a little early off the beetle, I think, or I was too far to the left, so I just ended up missing it. Fortunately, it's kind of a short death compared to dying to something at the end of the skip.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Beetle 1 is still a very, very punishing trick to pull off if you miss it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a minute time loss if you don't get it. Well, I guess it's like 15 seconds if you take it safe. Like you can't do it for whatever reason. But a minute if you die.
More often than not, you're just going to have to reset the stage anyways because you got to start from the scratch anyways.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could get some of the money back, so I figured I'd just start over the stage. Not worry about it.
A very, very clean run, and well done by you.
Thank you.
So, how do you feel about your next opponent, which is Smug?
That's gonna be a tough one. I could get a PB and still lose. So it's not really in my control what happens. I've just got to do the best run I can and hope it's good enough.
Yeah, and hope the robot gets a bug or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting match for sure.
Yeah, I hope it's a good one.
Yeah, and if you do pull an upset, it will be the first upset of this tournament.
Yeah, it's possible. Not likely, but possible.
Yeah. We're still Smuggy having some trouble in his match against Jay-Z. He got a time that is not... Well, I mean... He got a good time, but for him, it was something that we're not used to see from him, so...
Yeah, but then the next one he gets a 43.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. He got a 43-30 the next match, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, really, the approach is to just do the best I can in my own run and not worry too much about how well he's doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So for those of you who are hankering for some more Shovel Knight matches, your next one was going to be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we also have one scheduled for Thursday, February 9th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So the 8 p.m. Eastern one on Wednesday will be between Explode and Engage. That's going to be a good match.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
We also have Moo and West, and that's also going to be a great match.
Yeah, Moo improved a lot during the tournament, for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll pull out some old patented low percent strats as well.
Can I say that I'm not looking forward to my match?
You gotta, pull out there and show them that the orb route is awesome.
Yeah.
Remember, you got the orb in your hand. Engage is a rod runner, so.
Yeah, former world record holder. Currently 4th place, I think. Yeah, 4th place with a 44.29.
Yes, if you haven't followed the runners yet, please do so. They are fantastic. and you'll see both of them in further tournament matches. So this was a winner's bracket.
So they're still in there.
But I think what we'll do is that's it for tonight for Shovel Knight. I'm Katsuki, my
Still
fellow
there?
at Primorix,
Hi.
and Tohloo, and Muncha occasionally.
Hello.
Who?
Been mixing the audio. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody, and we will catch you next time.